All right. It is Kwanzaa. Happy Kwanzaa, everybody. Happy Kwanzaa, everybody. Habari Gani. Habari Gani is the greeting for Kwanzaa. It is the greeting for Kwanzaa for the next 7 days. Start counting today. When you see somebody, greet them with Habari Gani. Greet them with that phrase. And the response to that phrase is the principle of the day for Kwanzaa. So if you're talking to somebody that knows what's up with Kwanzaa, they're going to respond with the principle of the day, right? So Habari Gani to all of you. Thank you for joining us for the third year that Enough has had an opportunity to bring you Kwanzaa Live. And all we're going to do this week for 15 minutes each night is go over the principle of the day for Kwanzaa and to try to educate each other, educate our children, and talk about not just the Kwanzaa, but also the principle. The principles are timeless and they mean a lot to all of us, right? So that's what we're all about with Kwanzaa Live, and we're glad to have this opportunity. These will be out there in Facebook. They're going to be different people each night talking about the different principles, and I'm just excited. I'm kicking it off tonight because this is the first night, and for those that are online, I see people coming online now to join us. Just type in hello so that I can see your name and so that I can greet you. Otherwise, I just see a number. But we're not going to be long tonight. My name is Gary Holland. I'm the founder of Enough, and many people from the region have heard about Enough one way or another. Many think the name of the organization is Black Voters Matter because we give away those T-shirts that have been doing it for many years as a part of our outreach efforts around voter mobilization and voter education. And Enough does so much more than that. We're forming a new board, and we're going to have new initiatives and new plans and new activities in 2024, and we are excited about it. And we love to end the year with Kwanzaa Live, and we start the new year with Kwanzaa Live because the last day of Kwanzaa is January the 1st. Okay, so let me give you all, the only time we'll give you a little background on Kwanzaa is tonight. Aside from that, we'll jump right into the principle each night. We'll only be here tonight for 10, 13 minutes max. So hang with me. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. All right. Now, keep in mind, as we think about Kwanzaa, there's a lot of misinformation, misconceptions about Kwanzaa, and I want to level set everybody tonight. Kwanzaa is a holiday designed to celebrate the richness of what it means to have African roots. That's exactly what Kwanzaa is. It's a time, it's a celebration of the richness of what it means to have African roots. And African Americans aren't the only people with African roots, right? Afro-Caribbeans, all sorts of people have African roots. And this is a time globally where we can celebrate the richness, the power of what it means to have those roots. Kwanzaa is observed from December 26th through January 1st. It's a 7-day celebration of these African roots, and people of all faiths, Muslim, Hindu, Christian, right, Jewish, all celebrate Kwanzaa. It is not a religious holiday, right? Your faith certainly plays a part in Kwanzaa and how you celebrate it. Mine certainly influences how I think of Kwanzaa and how I celebrate Kwanzaa, but it's not a religious holiday. I wanted to make that clear as well. But instead, the African American and Pan African holiday is anchored by 7 principles that are timeless and that transcend, all the major faiths of the world. And we'll talk about those 7 principles briefly, and we'll kick off tonight with the first one. The Swahili term for the 7 principles is the Nguzo Saba. Nguzo Saba. Nguzosaba. The Nguzo Saba. And those principles are designed, their aim is to inspire people of African descent to be united, to be self-determined, to be accountable one for another, to be accountable for ourselves, for our communities, to be financially invested in our communities, to strive to keep, our finances as best we can within our communities, to build each other up and to create legacy for future generations. The Nguzo Saba is designed for us to be purposeful regarding our lives as we reflect on them during this 7-day period and beyond. So the Nguzo Saba, these 7 principles are timeless, yes, and they make a huge difference in our lives if we take the time to reflect on them and to talk about them, right? They also focus on creativity, right? And absolutely, the foundation is faith. The foundation is faith. Kwanzaa offers a new dialogue on Black culture, right? A new dialogue that's positive. It focuses on the positives of our history, the positives of our accomplishments throughout the world, and not just the negatives that typically come up a lot when you hear about Black culture, right? Kwanzaa is focused on the positives of African people of African descent and of Black culture. And it's a great, great time for us to come together to shift the dialogue and to shift the perception of people of African descent. All right. Kwanzaa itself, the word means first fruits. The word Kwanzaa means first fruits. It's Swahili, and it comes from that term. And it really just, again, represents the agricultural harvest. All right, that's prevalent in Africa, and that's so important, right? That first fruits for Christians, you understand the whole concept of first fruits, bringing your first, before the Lord. We're not going to make this a sermon, but Kwanzaa itself means first fruits. There's something special about the first, right? And we're wrapping up this year and beginning the new year, thinking about the Nguzo Saba, thinking about these timeless principles, thinking about things like unity and collaboration and accountability, right? And faith, and tying those up and talking to our kids and talking to our families about it, talking within our churches about it, and making sure we launch into the new year on a positive note. Now, Kwanzaa was born out of the Black Power movement in the 1960s. The founder was an academic. His name was Dr. Marengo Kalenga. He actually founded and developed the Kwanzaa celebration itself, Dr. Milano Karenga, right? You can Google him, look it up. Amazing man to come up with something that has stood the test of time, that thousands upon millions of people reflect on and celebrate every year. Sometimes, since it was born out of the Black Power movement, people tend to think it's about Black Lives Matter or things like that. It absolutely is not. It's a focus on the Nguzo Saba. It's a focus on those 7 principles. It's a celebration of the richness, again, of our heritage, our African heritage. That's really what Kwanzaa is about. It's a time of pride and celebration, right? The beauty is that it doesn't focus on Black history from slavery, right? When you begin to celebrate Kwanzaa and talk about Kwanzaa, it helps us to really look beyond that and to look at truly where Africans have started and the impact Africans have had on virtually every aspect of our society and our world, right? So the primary symbols of Kwanzaa, right? Here you go, write these down. And we're about to wrap up, and then we're going to talk about the principle of the day. Primary symbols: 7 candles, 3 green, 3 red, 1 black. The Swahili term is Mshuma Saba. Mshuma Saba. Those are the 7 candles. They represent the 7 principles. We'll talk about that in a second. The candle holder is the Kinara. You can buy these Kwanzaa sets for $30. They're very inexpensive. If you don't have one, I encourage you to go out and grab one. Grab one tomorrow, right? And you light a different candle each night. Bring the family around, listen to this 10, 15-minute discussion every night for the principle of the day. Light the appropriate candle and have a discussion about it. And you're celebrating Kwanzaa. So you have the 7 candles, the Mshuma Saba. You have the Kinara, the candle holder. You have the unity cup. The unity cup is Kikombe Cha Umoja. That's the unity cup. And you can drink, you can pass a glass of water or juice around to the family as you sit down to talk about Kwanzaa, right? That's the unity cup. There's a placemat called the Mkeka. I may be pronouncing that wrong, but it's Mkeka. I say Mkeka. That's the placemat you place the Kinara, the candles, and the unity cup on. Then there are things like you put corn, a piece of corn, an ear of corn, muhindi, and gifts, zawadi. You place those there as well, and that's your Kwanzaa set. You have the Kinara, the candles, the unity cup, the mat, corn to represent harvest, and gifts to represent celebration. That's your Kwanzaa set. And sit that in the middle of your dining room table or your living room table. We used to do that when our kids were young. We haven't done it in a while, but I think we're going to restart it this year, even if it's just Jeanette and I doing it. But it gives you a reason to come together around that to talk about the principle of the day, right? Here are the principles, and then we're going to move on. First principle of Kwanzaa is Umoja, unity. That's what I'll be talking about briefly as soon as I'm done with this history backdrop. So there's Umoja, unity. Then there's Kuji Chakulia. I love saying that. Kujichakulia, or self-determination. That's day 2. Then there's Ujima, which is collective work and responsibility. Collective work and responsibility. Then there's Ujama. Ujama is cooperative economics. Cooperative economics. You're going to get a lot of good stuff this week, y'all. I'm telling you. Ujama is cooperative economics. Nia is purpose. Nia is the principle that follows Ujama. That's purpose. And the 6th day is Kuumba, which represents creativity. Kuumba represents creativity. And the final day is the one that a lot of folks love. I know I love it, is Imani. Imani, which means faith. That's on January the 1st, right? So those are the principles. That's a little bit of a backdrop about Kwanzaa. Hopefully something was said that educated you. Hopefully you learned something different, something new. Share this with your family and friends, right? Come back, take a look at it for the history lesson. We won't recant the history anymore this week. Every time we get in this week, we'll greet you, and then we're going to go right into a short discussion or presentation about the principle of the day. Okay, so look, everybody, Habari Gani, again, is the greeting. What that means is what's the news? And the response is the principle of the day. Today's principle is Umoja, or unity. So if I say to you, Habari Gani, you type into the comments, Umoja, unity. Unity is the news of the day. And I'm going to share a little bit about that with you right here as we switch over to our short discussion on today's principle. Hang tight, and here we go. Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Gary from Enough, just checking in with you on the first day of Kwanzaa Live of 2023. Looking forward to sharing every night for the next 7 nights the principle of the day for Kwanzaa. We're going to have different people come in each night, as I've said already, and looking forward to spending just a little bit of time with you and your families as we celebrate this amazing time of reflection and appreciation of our culture. Okay, so look, tonight, the first principle is Umoja. Umoja is unity. Umoja means unity, and as the first principle of Kwanzaa, I think it's very appropriate that we reflect on unity. Now, if you have your Kanara, if you have your candles, tonight is the night that you light the center candle, the unity candle. It's the black candle that sits right in the middle of the Kanara. And I'll explain each night how you alternate red candle, green candle, red candle, green candle as we go throughout the 7 nights of Kwanzaa. Now, if you don't have a Kanara, you can always make one. Go out and buy 3 green candles, 3 red candles, and a black candle, and put them in something and then light them. And next year, you can buy a Kanara. They're very affordable. But we're talking about unity. We're talking about Umoja today. And as we all know, there are a lot of things that divide us as a nation, that divide us in our various communities of faith or houses of faith. There are lots of things that divide us as a people, as an African American culture, an African American community. And we know that the best way to defeat an opponent, the best way to render a people ineffective is to divide them, is to pit them against each other. That applies in any environment. That applies, I'm sure, militarily. That applies in the business world. That applies in our homes, in our churches, in our communities. So as we kick off Kwanzaa this year, let's be on the lookout for things that divide. We could be the cause of the division, right? We can know things that are going on to divide us or pit us against each other or to keep us from working together. One thing we'll see throughout Kwanzaa is there's an undergirding, there's an undercurrent of unity, of working together collectively, of collaboration, of building each other up and helping each other to grow, to move forward, to help advance, our cause, to help create for our younger children, for our the next generations, etc. So it is very appropriate that Kwanzaa is based on the theme of Umoja for the first night, on unity for the first night. So as you see things that don't promote unity, that do promote division, let's be active about uprooting them. Let's be active about calling them out, no matter who may not like it or who may be a little offended. If they are promoting division, let's call those things out, right? Now is the time more than ever for us to come together, to learn from each other, to support each other, to encourage each other, to help advance businesses, etc., etc. As I sit here tonight, I think about the new Chamber of Commerce, the Virginia Black Chamber of Commerce that's been established. And next year is going to be great as they launch into this first year under this new banner and this new structure. And they're all about unity, all about promoting unity, working together, growing together, advancing together. And whenever we do put our minds together toward advancing in a unified way, there's always going to be obstacles. There's always going to be people that try to plant seeds of discord. There's always going to be difficulty in establishing unity. There are going to be people that don't want to come on board, and people that actively work to stop efforts to advance initiatives that are designed to unify us as a people. And we should expect that, and we should be ready to fight against it. So look, as we kick off Kwanzaa, let's keep in mind Umoja. Let's keep in mind unity. Let's work together, not just the rest of this year. Let's work together all of next year to do things together that there's no way we could do apart from each other. That's that whole concept of synergy, right? 2 + 2 = 5. You know, we can do more together than we can on our own, right? The sum of all of us working together is much more than if you add us up as individual components. Now, in 2024, a lot of great things are going to come out of enough. We're already working on some things. We're getting started, and I'm looking forward to seeing the results of all of us as a community coming together to highlight the efforts of one another, to create opportunities for each other, to create opportunities for our children, right? And just to just put things aside that divide us, right? Put them aside. It's all about collaboration as we move forward. All right. So if you hear Habari Gani today, the greeting of the day, the response should have been Umoja or unity. And looking forward to the next several nights of sharing with you. We'll have different people sharing on some of the nights regarding the principle of the day. Go out and get your Kanara, go out and get your 7 candles, and sit down with your family just for a moment every night to light your candle and talk a little bit about the principle of the day for Kwanzaa. And today's principle again is Umoja or unity. All right. Look, take care. Hope you had a great day today as you decompress from Christmas, and looking forward to moving forward together in unity. All right. Peace, y'all. All right. All right. Look, hopefully you learned something these last 15 minutes about Kwanzaa, something new about unity, a new way of thinking about unity. And yes, we are all in this together, black, white, brown, whatever color you want to use. We're all different shades, different races, different cultures, but we're all God's children, right? And the thing we need to really work on is moving together, moving together. All right. If you're Christian, worshiping together, praising together. If you're Muslim, serving together, whatever your faith is, right? Whatever your culture is, moving together is so important. And unity is the key. Unity is the key. So thank you all. Happy Kwanzaa. Go out and get your Kanara, your candles, your corn, right? Your cup, your mat, all of the components. Set it up and make sure you come back tomorrow night and spend just a few moments with me and our guest as we talk about the principle for the second day. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Go online and Google it and just respond when somebody says Habari Gani with the principle of day 2 of Kwanzaa, which is tomorrow. But today was unity. Thank you all for joining. I saw a couple of folks on that I was really glad to see on. Thank you so much. Pastor Betty, I see you. Thank you for joining and copying so many people. All right. A lot of folks are on here. I see some names. I see some folks. God bless. Apostle Kevin, thanks for joining, sir. If you'd like to do a night, we do have a night open, Apostle Kevin. I'd love for you to come on wherever you are. It's on StreamYard. Love for you to expound on the principle that is still open. That'd be amazing. Absolutely amazing. He's an amazing teacher, right? So look, everybody, God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. And we look forward to connecting every night on Kwanzaa Live. All right. Take care now. Talk to you soon.